YouTube, this is not a firearm.
Welcome back to the Lowkey Airgunner YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to install this accessory rail from Buckrail for the QB78 CO2 rifle, which is not a firearm, YouTube. So let's jump right into it and install this and get some CO2 in there and do a bit of basement target shooting from around 22 feet. I will start by removing the CO2 cap. Then I guess I gotta unscrew this thing a little bit. I took the screw completely off and kept the nut in there. I don't know if you need to take it off completely, but I did. So now let's try to slide this on there. This a tight fit. Maybe I need instructions. We might have a problem, which is not Buck's fault, but apparently there is two sides of QB78 barrels, and the rail was designed for 14 millimeters barrels, so I might have to customize this one a little bit to make it fit, which was not in the plans tonight. I will see. I will figure it out.
So I got my good old and trusty Guitar Hero drumstick and taped some random sandpaper on it and started doing my thing like that. The plastic is pretty easy to sand down, but make sure to keep the angle right for the barrel, so this is why I use something round. I removed only a bit at a time and test fitted it until it seemed like it wanted to go in there, but the threads were preventing it, and I gave it a little bit of extra help from there using a screwdriver because I did not wanted to push too hard on it and break it. I did this because I did not felt like removing any more plastic, and I knew that only the threads were preventing it from going on there, so I used my screwdriver as a pry bar and it worked. Okay, so don't do this at home if you don't trust yourself.
One thing for sure, it will not move by itself. It does look like this is where it is supposed to go. Maybe the fit is not 100%, but that's my fault for having a 15 millimeter barrel QB78. This cap is screwed all the way in. I'm gonna take another look at the instructions because I want to show the proper way to install it, even though I had to modify it a little bit, but they do say it on the website right there. So apparently all I gotta do now is put the screw back in and we should be good to go. As always with plastic, don't tighten this too much. It will not move anyway, and you only risk to break it. So overall, I think I did a decent job, but far from perfect. Take note, if you have a 14 millimeter barrel, you will not need to modify this, and it will look a bit better because I scuffed it a little bit with the sandpaper. I could have burned it, I guess, maybe not, to make it look better, but I installed it and I kind of don't want to take it up. So now that everything is tight, let's put some CO2 in This time, since I will be shooting in the basement from only around 22 feet and I don't want to have over 80 shots of CO2 in there, I will use only one new cartridge. I will put the spent one first and the new one second, so the piercing pin from the cap will pierce this one and I can back it off. I don't know if it really matters, but I put them in this order. I still put some pellet gun oil on both CO2 cartridge to keep my rifle well oiled. I will also put a bit of fresh oil on my seal and a little bit on the threads to make sure. That's a bit too much, but it is already on there, so let's use it. So now I can screw that back in. Once you get to a point where it is hard, don't go further and unscrew. You will hear the is, and it is locked now by the pressure, so I know it worked. I will dry fire it about 2 to 3 times to make sure that the CO2 is up in there, you know. Let's make some bolt action ASMR, ASMR, or whatever. Let's do it. The screwdriver on my table is pretty annoying. I believe the laser will fit because it is almost the same height as the stock, but I cannot confirm that yet. For this time, I'm going to use a bipod. By the way, don't be like me and read the instructions before ordering or installing the parts, so you will have a better experience. One thing I want to say about the Red Ryder under barrel rail, make sure to put the chamfer on the right side. I believe this little notch means that it is on this side, and this one too. So this means that I got it on backwards, so I need to switch at least this one over to the other side, and it should be a bit closer to the stock. So like I said, read the instructions before you order or install the products, so you don't blame Buck-Rail for your own, you know. So now we got a nice bipod on. Looks fairly solid, even though I removed a bit of material on something already pretty thin out here.
So now let's get ready for the fun part. I'm going to shoot Craftsman Premier Woodcutter 7.4 grains for the first 2 groups, and I will be shooting 2 other woodcutter / flat nose design because this is only 22 feet / around 7.33 yards indoor, and this is all we need. By the way, flat pellets are stabilizing faster, so they might even do better than dome pellets at this range. I will not be adjusting the scope. Hopefully this is not something that worries you too much. If so, too bad. This was not an honorable first 5 shots. Let's see if the next 5 will be better on another target. Not perfect, but not too bad from a budget pellet. Talking about budget pellets, let's test some cheaper side JSP pellets. They are around $12, which is the new price of a Crossman tin of pellets in Canada. So let's see if they will do any better. It's starting pretty good, all in whole. Did anybody notice anything weird on this one? Apparently, my concentration was not on point. You can judge that by the fact that I shot the wrong target and that I have a very poor trigger control. And I realized only after a few seconds, like you can see right now, that I did not shoot at the right target. So, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But let's just say I was really confused and I was trying to remember where I blew a hole. I realized I did shoot at the wrong target because the hole on the right target was not getting any bigger. And I knew for a fact that I pulled the last one, or at least it was a flyer. The 4-shot group is still looking great. Hopefully I can shoot 5 on this one. I don't know if I pulled a few after losing my concentration, but the second group was not as good as the first one. I don't know if it has something to do with lead. This is why I do 2 different groups. Now I'm going to use RWS Meister Kulgun 8.2 grain. By the way, the last one was 8.02 grain. We are going up in weight and we already shot around 20 shots from this detuned to 495 FPS Beeman QB78 CO2 with only 1 cartridge. It might sound like a lot, but I still have plenty of CO2 in there, as you can maybe tell by this great Meister Kulgun first group. Now let's do another 5. In fact, it was going so well that I decided to turn this into a 10-shot group. As you can see, this thing is shooting a lot better than me. It is awesome for a budget CO2 rifle with not too expensive pellets. This is for my .177 gang. You know, we're shooting groups smaller than their pellets. Just kidding, by the way, I like all calibers. I'm just too poor to start another pellet collection. I still had a lot of CO2 left and some pellets to take care of. I had only 6 left on my wad cutter tin, so I shot them all. and decided to open another tin because I have plenty of Craftsman pellets and not that much of other brands and types. This one was a pretty big flyer, but I don't know if you can blame me or the pellet. Now you know why I patched the holes with printer's tape, just because pellets will fly back out if there's nothing to stop them, even a thin layer of tape. So now I will empty my CO2 on this shoot and see just for fun with Craftsman woodcutters while I'm talking to you. First, I want to say that I really like this bipod because I'm shooting as good as I would with the shooting bag and I will not have to carry it outside and stuff like this. I'm also very stoked to try those Meister Kugeln again from around 22 feet / 7.33 yards, but standing and with a laser to show how bad I'm shaking and whose fault it is if the pellet doesn't land in the right zone. You know what I mean? After about 65 shots, if I'm right, I started to hear a little drop in CO2, so I started the annoying degassing process. Even more dry fires later. It was a fun time, but this will be it for today. I can't wait to try it again, but using a laser and shooting off-end next time. Of course, go take a look at Boxrail website to see all the interesting 3D printed accessories that they offer for the airgun community. You can also follow them on Instagram, which I'm also on, so follow us please. Thanks.